up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone out there is having an amazing, marvelous, magnificent day. My name is TatiV, and if you're a true crime lover like me, make sure you like, comment, and of course subscribe. I post very interesting true crime videos every Monday and Fridays. Monday I post whatever I'm in the mood for, and Fridays I have a series called Freaky Friday where we discuss all things freaky, freak accidents, freak deaths, decapitation, cannibalism, and gruesome crime scenes. Today's video will be featuring gruesome crime scenes, and I will be whispering about the gruesome discovery of Tanner Ward. Throughout this video, make sure you pay attention very closely to every detail about this case. This may or may not be a conspiracy case, so we're going to find out and see. We're going to go ahead and get into the video. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, and enjoy some crime time. Warning, this content is for educational purposes only. Some viewers might find this disturbing. Parental discretion is advised. Tanner Ward was born on September 7th, 1987, to parents Lisa Ward and Curtis Ward. He had an older sister and brother named Kelsey Ward and Tyler Ward. During the time of his disappearance, the family lived in Trenton, Missouri. During his teenage years, he ran into some trouble and began to follow the wrong crowds, just as everyone does in their teenage years. Before his death, Tanner was engaged to his wife-to-be Megan, and they had a daughter named Sophia. He loved his daughter and adored his fiancée. His life was on a more positive route, so there would be no reason for him to take himself out. His mother stated that Tanner never wanted to harm himself, and he didn't suffer from depression. Tanner met and befriended a guy that moved into the area named Jeremiah. Tanner's family was not familiar with Jeremiah. Tanner's sister, Kelsey, said that she had never heard of his name before this incident. On the night of June 7th, 2017, Tanner's family was cooking dinner. His mother, Lisa, asked if he wanted a plate. Tanner stated that she could save him a plate and he would be back in 30 minutes. He had to go meet a friend. He kissed his daughter goodbye and vanished. Hours after he left, he did not return, and he usually did drop in to let someone know what was going on. The next day, Tanner's sister Kelsey went to Jeremiah's apartment, where Tanner said he would be, and discovered that the entire apartment was trashed. Holes were in the wall, the furniture was flipped over, and the side door was left wide open. She spotted her brother's baseball cap and said that Tanner would never have left without it. And worst of it all, Jeremiah was spotted in this same shirt that Tanner was last seen in. She noticed it had several cigarette markings in the shirt. She immediately contacted the police. They told her not to worry. He was a runaway and that he was hanging out with some girl, getting his mind right. Kelsey stated that Tanner would never do that. Eventually, a missing persons report was filed, and the police made a promise to Tanner's family that they would solve this case. 2 weeks later, there was still no information on the finding of Tanner Ward. His family began putting up missing persons flyers all over the town. Trenton police Police Chief Thomas Wright claimed to have looked into Jeremiah as much as possible. They conducted a voice stress test on Jeremiah, and the results led police and cadaver dogs to search Jeremiah's dad's house in Edinburgh. The only thing that was found at the property were animal bones. Tanner did not own a cell phone, so police didn't have any luck tracking him down with electronic footprint the night he went missing. They tracked down every lead, but they all came to a dead end. They assumed that Tanner was involved in foul play. On a cold, early December morning, two people were walking on the way to school together when they heard a brush in the wind. The two looked up in the tree when they discovered a decomposing body hanging from a tree branch. His fingers were mummified and his feet were missing. Pants, shoes, and one sock were in a pile at the scene, and it was determined that the clothes had been there for a while. When an autopsy was performed on the body, and with the help of dental records, the body was identified as Tanner Ward. Initially, his cause of death was ruled as taking himself out. There was no sign of foul play other than the ligature mark from the hanging of the rope, which meant Jeremiah was no longer a suspect. Rumors began circulating around the city of Trenton. There were text messages stating that Tanner's death was a homicide and he was tortured before he was murdered for months and placed in a freezer, which could possibly be true because Tanner went missing on June 7th and his body was found on a random day in December. So if he really took himself out in June, his body would have been found way sooner. Another rumor, Lisa, Tanner's mom, received a text message claiming that her son was beaten with a baseball bat, hung up in a cellar to die, and was hung up on the tree a couple of months later. She stated that there wasn't any signs of bugs or animals tampering with Tanner's body, which indicated that Tanner was not outside for the whole 6 months he was missing. A construction worker that had a site just 25 feet away stated that the workers never smelled any foul odors. A childhood friend of Tanner's stated that him and several others have walked that path countless of times and never smelled or suspected anything unusual. As I stated earlier, Tanner never thought about taking himself out. His life was going on the right path, and on the night of June 7th, he stated that he would be returning home in less than an hour. So why would he make the decision to take himself out in less than an hour? Crime Watch Daily covered this story. I will link the episode in the description box if you want to check that out. Pay very close attention to how nonchalant the officer is with this case. Let's discuss the mummified fingers. The only way Tanner's fingers was mummified is if his body was exposed to heat or humid climate. According to Crime Daily's police expert, Dr. Bill Smock, his opinion is that when most people are walking, they tend to look straight ahead or downwards. People usually don't look up, so if Tanner was hung on the tree for 6 months, that is why he wasn't discovered until December. Honestly, in my opinion, the average person is going to notice when a whole human is hanging from a tree. If anyone is like me, I always pay attention to my surroundings, so I'm not sure how this theory is even justifiable. For some odd reason, Law enforcement believed that Tanner was hanging from the tree since the time of his disappearance, but they have not gave an explanation on why they believe this. Chief Wright stated that back in 2016, Tanner was a drug user. He stated, quote, Tanner was starting to use drugs heavily. He was taking whatever kind of drugs he could get his hands on, and these are words from friends and family, end quote. Just before his death, Tanner and his brother Tyler ran into someone's home over a drug deal, which Jeremiah and his neighbor Stephanie were all involved in. No one was hurt. Tanner was arrested and charged with a felony and placed on probation. Lisa received a text message that Tanner's death could have possibly been kickback or retaliation. The plan was to just scare Tanner and not harm him to the point of no return. On April 18th, 2018, Tanner's autopsy was officially completed in Kansas City, and his death was ruled as him taking himself out. Law enforcement is currently still waiting for more evidence before they rule this case as a murder or homicide. I am going to leave you with this. If Tanner Ward actually took himself out like they claim he did, how did he climb the tree with no feet, since he was found with his feet missing, right? Tanner Ward's family is desperately looking for answers on what happened to their loved one. So if you have any information, no matter how small or big the information may be, please contact the Trenton Police Department at 660-359-5557. You could possibly be the one to turn this case from being cold to being solved, and rest in paradise to this beautiful human being. Thank you all for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinion down below. If you are interested in this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. If you have any ideas or suggestions for Freaky Friday, or just a case you would like for me to whisper about, make sure you leave those in the comments down below. Sorry this video was so short. I literally talked and gathered all the information I could find and put it into this video. I was literally trying my hardest to make this video longer, but I just cannot find any more information